Welcome to the Discourse Syndicate. I'm Dave43OG, and we thought we'd do a live stream tonight because we have had 2 live streams from Richard Hart in, about 24 hours. So I thought we'd jump on stream and have a chat about it. I've got here Jexa, so I'll bring him up.
Hey, how you going, mate? How is everyone?
How are you?
Yeah, good. It's been pretty exciting 24 hours, hasn't it?
Absolutely. Have you had a chance to review all the content?
Yeah, I have. It's I thought I'd be retired by now, but it's a full-time job keeping up with everything going on in the world of Hex, isn't it?
Absolutely. It is. It is. There's a lot going on.
There's always something.
Especially with PulseChain. I think that and this sacrifice launch phase that we're in right now. So for anyone who is just tuning in and doesn't know, at the moment, Richard Hart is going to fork Ethereum. And as I understand it, the code is all done. It's ready to go. It's just a matter of getting all the hardware ready. And once all of that's done and they've done a test net and they're happy with it, they're going to go live and bring a full system state of Ethereum to the Pulse network, which means that if you have ERC20 tokens on the Ethereum network, you're going to get like an exact copy of that on the Pulse network, and they're going to be called PRC20 tokens. So it's exciting stuff, isn't it? And we're in the launch phase right now. So if you want to get the native token Pulse, what you can do is you can sacrifice a whole list of tokens, a whole list of that you can sacrifice. Bitcoin, you can sacrifice Ethereum. There's loads of ERC20 tokens you can sacrifice. There's BCH. And then you can sacrifice XRP. There's loads of stuff you can sacrifice. And what the sacrifice is for, it is to show your support for the notion that blockchains are free speech. It's in support of free speech, and I guess trying to maintain our rights that we have in the regular world, but to carry those rights over into the digital world and make sure that we have those freedom of speech rights in the digital world. Because I'm not sure if you've noticed, Jexa, but we seem to be at the thin edge of the wedge right now when it comes to our rights. And I don't want to get like political or anything. That's not what this show is about. This show is about like blockchain, and it's about Hex, contract, and Pulse. But I just see that. I see that particular. I see that as something that is pretty. Where'd Jexa go? Come back, mate.
Hey, mate, I'm back. I don't know what happened. I just lost everything. I thought I was going to be running the show by myself for a bit there. I thought it was you that dropped out.
So I was just saying that I feel like this is an opportunity for people to show their support for freedom of speech in the digital realm. And that's what blockchain is. It's censorship resistance. It means that people can't take away, that ability to speak. What are your thoughts, mate?
So, first of all, the biggest airdrop the crypto space has ever seen. I can't think of too many people that wouldn't have Ethereum or some other ERC20 in their wallet. Unless you're a die-hard Bitcoin maxi, chances are you've got something like this in your wallet. And if you're a die-hard Bitcoin maxi, you may even have just a little bit of USDC or something like that for when you're hedging. So it's going to touch 99.9% of people in this space, I would imagine. And I think as a result of that, we're seeing a lot more attention in terms of other influencers but showing interest in it, because I think they understand this is big. This is going to affect. Now, I don't care what sort of a streamer you are or an influencer in YouTube. this will impact your audience. So you would be doing them a massive disservice if you didn't say something about it. If you were the only one not saying something about it, you would lose a lot of respect, or at worst, your followers, your subscribers would be questioning why you're not saying it. So we're really seeing that happen now.
I'm not sure. Have we lost you for a second there, Jexa? I think we have, mate. Yeah, so that ain't good, is it? Let me just see if I can boot him out for a second and get him back. But yeah, like just going back to the stream that Richard did last night, and I'm talking Australian time. He had a fellow on. He's an Australian guy who has a paid group, and this guy went pretty. He seemed like he wanted to make some points, but I didn't really I didn't think any of the points that he was making made a whole lot of sense, because you could apply that to other things as well, other things that he has freely shilled for. He's freely shilled these things for years and years. Let me see if I can get you back up.
I think I figured it out. I bounced across to my Wi-Fi. It wasn't happening. All good.
Yep. No worries, mate. No worries. So we're back. Are you back on? Are you Ethernet, mate? Are you on Ethernet?
Yeah, I've gone hardwired now. We're all good.
Good work, mate. Good work. I've been telling Unwrecked that for weeks now.
He's got to get his shit sorted, man.
I've been telling him for weeks. I'm like, dude, you need a cable. You need to plug this in. Like I'm sitting here and I'm like in eyesight of the modem, right? And it's right there. And it's a 5 gigahertz connection. Like it is right there. No one else, everyone's in bed. I know I've got it, right? I know there's nothing else playing with it. So
just not quite there yet, is it?
I was just talking about how there was that Australian a guy who's got the paid channel, and he had a discussion with Richard, and I just didn't think he was making. I thought that there was a bit of hypocrisy in what he was saying, because this guy has like openly shilled absolute rug pulls, things that like.
I know you hit him up for his pickle shilling.
Absolutely, yeah. He was shilling pickle, which ended up being a rug pull, and I just think that sort of thing, it's so hypocritical, man. It is so damn hypocritical to be getting on a live stream and calling someone out who's done his very, very best to do something special, create a contract which is immutable, doesn't have admin keys, is not going to get rug pulled, and it's like, I don't know. It's been something.
So it was only, I think it was not last stream, the stream before, and we made comment about Nugget, and I said he'll be the litmus test. I said if he has a catch up with Richard and it's amicable, I said that'll be the turning point. That's when I'll know that the gatekeeping's stopped. And I thought we were going to get that chance. I thought he was actually going to come on and have a conversation. Yeah, that's it. He's backed himself into a corner now, and he has to back up those statements. And I thought he would actually at least come on and it would be reasonable. And I thought, okay, yeah, that's cool. Come on and ask the tough questions. And as the session went on, I thought, geez, Richard's he's taking a pretty hard line here. I thought he's getting a bit fiery, and so
there was a bit of history behind that, wasn't there?
Well, that's the thing. And we weren't.
Look at this from RG3. No, sorry, I went up on that one. Okay, this from RG3.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that this is RG3 is alluding to what we're about to talk about now, which was some messages that were exchanged between Richard Hart and this man and this gentleman.
So when you read those up post watching the video, it puts a lot of context around things that Richard said in the middle of it about, I don't think you're going to be able to pay for the bet, and things like that he mentioned, and without that background context, I literally thought, Jesus, Richard's going hammer and tong. But I think it was snapping point. So this guy was coming onto his channel, accusing him of all this shady shit. Then in the background, he's doing the worst of the worst.
In the background, he wanted 20 Bitcoin.
Yeah.
20 Bitcoin loan.
Yeah.
Which he
that just fired me up, man, because that was the thing.
Someone has talked shit about you and your project for like over a year, and then he's asking for money.
But the way he asked for that money, it was like, all of these nice guys wouldn't give it to me, but you seem like a real piece of shit that wouldn't mind profiting off of someone's fucking misery. Can I have some money? That was the tone of the messages. I was like, how the fuck? How can you do that and come off with still having your character intact, man? That was bad.
Yeah. No,
but
that was...
he's paid the price. Everyone fucking roasted him. So that was good.
Look, I used to see his show. I never like watched it very much. I watched it here and there. But I never, and I used to see him, and he seems like a pretty mild-mannered guy with like making reasonable whatever points on the property market here and there. But like on closer inspection and watching how he's carried himself over the last year or so, year and a half, and now like this was his opportunity to come out and really just maybe just quash the beef and say, okay, well, look, he did say that he thought that Hex was going to keep doing well for the coming years.
That clip is going to get played everywhere, and that is a soundbite that he just doesn't want out there now, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It was just so perfect.
He's just one dude. He's just one dude who's in Tasmania, right? And I don't know, have you ever been to Tasmania? I love Tasmania.
Yeah, a couple of times. Yeah, been there a few times.
Yeah. I love Tasmania. Is a great place. Go there, go on a holiday if you're an Australian. It's a nice place to go. So he lives in Tasmania. So he's a bit detached from like, the sort of the bigger city sort of mindset. But I think this guy has he's going to take a step back and reassess his position. But as I said before, maybe he has really just backed himself into a corner that he's going to, I don't know. Maybe he's said so much to his followers that he's going to look bad to his followers, to the people who pay for his paid group.
I think Hex is a little bit different. We do market cap things differently, and and definitely rocks the boat in the crypto space. But it's not doing anything illegal or anything. That's just the way it is. That's the way it's designed. That's the function of the coin. He's trying to find fault where there's not. Because that's the design of the coin.
Yeah, he's got like an outcome that he wants to, and he needs to fill the narrative for how like why this is a scam, right?
Yeah.
And at the same time, I tweeted something today. So if anyone wants to go check it out, it's day 43 OG. At day 43 OG on Twitter. And I tweeted something out today about the interview that Richard did with I think the guy's name's Ran. So there was a clip of him and I haven't actually heard anyone come out and say it so clearly, unequivocally, just come out and say Richard is absolutely not a scammer. He has created something, and it does exactly what he said it was going to do. And it is, this is not a scammer who's out there trying to scam you. Like that's one of the first guys who I've seen who's a big time like YouTube sort of channel come out and say it so clearly. Everyone else has skirted the line of just trying to like sit on the fence about it and be a little bit in the gray area. He came out and just unequivocally said it, and that was fantastic. That was fantastic to see.
Yeah, I think everyone gave him props for that as well, which was good. And same with what we've just seen a few moments ago with Lewis Thomas. Lewis has always everyone's known he's held Hex. He's publicly said he's held Hex, but he's always hedged his statements still, even though everyone knew he was a Hexagon, and he said it was going to be top 5 by the end of the year. So he came out and said that, but when he said it's going to be top 5 by the end of the year, he said, "Don't hate me. I know what you're all going to think, but I think it's going to be top 5." So they were still hedging, and Rand's the only one that has come out and not hedged at all, and made that clear statement. Maybe.
Yeah. And also we had, and I think maybe, I'm not sure if you're still there, Jexa, but you just cut out, your voice cut out. We also had, I think someone else like Suppo Man or something on Twitter come out and say some things as well. We heard, who was the guy, Elio Trades, like a week ago. He came out and said some positive things about it. He said that he was wrong. So what we're seeing, we're starting to see what we'd been talking about for a that's all right, mate. Just
I don't know what's going on tonight.
I was just saying that we're starting to see. We've got Suppo Man came out and said,
yeah, that was a good one.
Yep. We have that Rand from Crypto Banter. We had sort of BitBoy, saying they didn't say negative things, they were saying positive things. So we're starting to see this. Elio Trades as well. We're starting to see this.
You missed everything I said then, obviously, because I mentioned Elio, I mentioned Lewis Thomas.
I missed it. I think you just cut out.
I was on a good old rant, mate. God knows how long I was talking to myself for.
So like we are definitely seeing a change. Like I was just messaging with a mate, right? And he was saying how great it was to see Richard, because he's only been in it for the last couple of months. And he just came in and said how great it was to see Richard destroy this guy yesterday. And I said to him, I've got to be honest with you. I'm sick of that shit. Like,
yeah. Shouldn't have to.
Yeah, no, I'm just sick of hearing these detractors go on and on and on about the same shit. Like, it's frustrating. I'm sick of it, man. Now it's time.
If it was any other project, everyone would be singing its praises. If any other person had launched it, they'd probably be high-fiving and fist pumping all around. So, but hey, this has been a massive opportunity for all of us true believers that got in from the very beginning. And I can tell you now, I wouldn't have accumulated as much if the price had gone up a lot quicker than what it did. So it gave us a chance to get more comfortable, understand everything, thrash out how all shares worked and things like that. We've seen it be rock solid. So we've had a lot of time to get comfortable with it. So new people coming in, they're probably going to have to take that period of adjustment and understand how it works and do all that learning that we had to on the shares. I think it takes a good couple of months before you actually really understand how shares work and things like that.
Yeah. So I was looking on Telegram at some old messages, and I'd been messaging with someone back in May, just saying, I'm just starting to I'm starting to understand shares now. Mind you, I'd been in from, the get-go. I've been listening to it from the get-go, but it took those 5 months, those 4 or 5 months really before I started understanding the mechanism.
Everyone's got the benefit of all the thrashing it all out that everyone done at the beginning and trying to figure it all out. T-shares wasn't even a thing. That didn't even exist at the beginning. That metric was never there. And then I think that was actually a bit of a game changer, the fact that the T-share thing was brought in, because that was something everyone could sort of hang their hat on and something to monitor and track how it was going. And I really we said eventually people won't get T shares, and I don't think we're far off of that now, where people will be buying B shares already. I think we're already there, to be honest. What's a T share now? $3,000 odd? I haven't checked today.
Yeah, 3,000.
No. So if you're coming in to Hex now and you're the average punter.
I've got a question. I don't know this off the top of my head. Is that 3,000 for like the shortest stake or for the longest stake? Because if it's for the shortest stake, then you could get
that'd be for the shortest stake.
Well, then you could get it for 1,000. See, that's the beauty.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's right.
$3,000 US for a T share.
Yeah.
However, if you have a longer time preference, it's only $1,000.
Exactly.
You know.
So how many? If you're coming into a crypto and you're the average sort of punter, what do you normally drop on a crypto? Just average person. I mean, not silly degens.
I think like it's going to be in the thousands. I mean, like
you think probably someone would
1 or
2,000. Yeah. Yep. So at the moment, it's obtainable to get T shares, but I don't think that's going to be long. And we may, as a community, we might. I don't know. Do we keep the T share thing there, or do we fall back to B shares? I don't know. We've become so used to having T shares as
they're just shares. They're just shares. I think they're all shares. It's just we put the T in front of it just to. But we should probably stop doing that, eh? Yeah.
So we've got to understand that there's going to be people coming in, and it's like buying a fraction of a Bitcoin. No one likes to buy 0.001 of a Bitcoin. It's emasculating.
That is true. They actually changed. It's funny. I went into Electrum, the software, the wallet, the coin wallet, Electrum, and they had actually, because I heard Richard talking about, they have actually changed the default from, the regular Bitcoin decimal placing to I'm not sure if it's MBTC. So it just meant that like, it's like 1, 2, it might be 2 or 3 like decimal places over the dot.
Yeah.
That's confusing as hell, man. That is doing that. I thought, like, I looked at it's just like, I'm sure I didn't have this much. and then in actual fact, it was, you've cut out again, have you? Yeah, so I'm not having much luck with Jexa here. So we had Alex Saunders, we had Alex Saunders, mate. We had, I was just going through the people. We had like Lewis Thomas. I want to talk a little bit about Lewis Thomas. Okay. This guy was a guy that I used to watch back in the day, like probably in 2017. I remember in particular, because of one of his videos that he did, I bought IOTA back in the day. Right. So I bought it because he like thought that it would be like, what was the video? It was like a video about what he thought the 2018 was going to be like, right? And he said, I think BTC, Ethereum, and IOTA. And I bought IOTA, and then it was soon after that, Richard did like a video. I think it was soon after that he did one with Ivan on Tech. Like just talking crap on it, and then I was just like, I got to get rid of this thing.
Yeah, no, he's definitely not afraid to back an underdog. Maybe that was too far of the underdog with IOTA, but you just don't know. It wasn't until a lot of crap came out about what IOTA was doing in the background with their crypto and stuff that
it's all very sort of experimental. I think
it was, and that's
it's a start. It's a contrast to what Hex is.
But you think how far this space has come in that since 2017 to now, it looks completely different. Like it was, we're all saying, yeah, we're early, but that was really early. Like half the shit didn't even work. There was zero adoption on, even less adoption than what's on a lot of them now. I remember we were tinkering around with launching a project, and we were dealing with the guys at Stellar, and we realized, like, once we started delving into what it could do and how we could run things, and we realized, shit, this stuff is really new. Like, it doesn't do half the shit that it's going to need to do to be able to function. They're all still heavily in development mode. So, and we haven't changed much. That's still what's going on now. Your Polkadot and all those guys that are coming out and launching, they are all the Neos and the ontologies and all that everyone was buying into last time around. So whether they go on to get adoption is still yet to be seen. Like they're massively speculative. Hex is the one thing that's not. It's done. So yeah, it blows my mind that we're repeating a lot of the same shit we already seen.
Let's talk a little bit about like we've covered this influencer thing, like Richard's interviews. I preferred tonight's interview, the one that was just on, to the one before. As I said earlier, I'm just sick of that. I'm sick of that crap, man. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of detractors. I want to get on with I want to know about what is Pulse going to do. What's, you know, 'cause I'm hearing some, you know, interesting stuff from Richard about it. He reckons it's going to be pretty good. I heard him talking about like how Tornado Cash is going to be on there, or maybe fork of it. I don't know, but to me, that's interesting as well. That is interesting that's going to be on there, and that is, you know, so that's a focus. I can't wait. I think that we're at this point in the crypto game where all these things are coming together, and they just need someone to be able to stitch them all up so that you've got this functioning, bigger ecosystem. I feel like Richard's that guy. You know, he's that guy.
I think it's going to be really cool to see is what teams step forward the quickest and say, yeah, we're supporting X project on this. We're gonna be running on Pulse, and that's going to be the exciting thing is when you see people start to put their hand up and support the chain, bring all their community. Well, they don't necessarily have to bring their community across, but give their community the option of running on ETH and on Pulse, and potentially even setting up bridges themselves between the two networks to get their both chains to function together or interoperate in some level. So there's just so much that can be done now. It's going to be crazy. The amount of things that have been halted on Ethereum due to fees that will just be freed up and able to ramp up and run faster, be cheaper, allow for more innovation on the chain as well. That's going to be pretty cool to watch.
There was also a clip this week which I found pretty interesting. It was Aubrey de Grey. So one thing that this week that's been amazing since the launch of this the Pulse Sacrifice is the amount of money that's been donated to the SENS Foundation.
Yeah.
Last time I heard
where can we actually pull that from? I don't know if there's somewhere where we can actually grab that data. I mean, I've got the sacrifice page up, but I can't find that data for SENS.
That's a good question. Knows. Let's put it out there to the chat. We've got 77 people watching. Does anyone know where that data is? That live data is, or is it just have we been just getting it from Richard? Because that's who I've heard it from. I think last time I heard it was like 23 million.
20, yeah, I heard 22, and I don't know where we're at
22, maybe it was 22.
Yeah, don't know where we're at with that now.
So that's something that, like, I mean, first of all, like that's amazing to have that sort of, to be able to raise that much. And what I heard this week is I saw a video by Aubrey. He was talking to a gentleman, and he was just saying how, you know, amazing it was that they're going to have all these extra funds because they've been.
I think it was 4 years worth of funding.
Yeah, 4 or more years worth of funding, but which is amazing. Absolutely amazing. And he said something else which I thought was interesting, was Vitalik had expressed to him that he thought that Pulse was a good project.
I think what the comment was, Aubrey, I think, had been, someone might have come to Aubrey and said, look, are you sure you want to do this? Richard's a bit divisive in the industry. Is that going to affect anything you've got going on with Vitalik? Because Vitalik's obviously contributed a lot of money to the SENS Foundation as well. And Aubrey's comment was he's personally addressed that with Vitalik, and Vitalik said it's given him much more respect for Richard now that he's gone ahead and done this. So not that Richard needs bloody Vitalik's respect or anyone else's respect or approval, but I guess it shows that they're starting to see Richard's character come through, and for his genuine character and what he's trying to do. We all know that. We've listened to bloody thousands of hours. We understand what his end game is and what he's trying to do. Everyone just sees a big, bold dude, and they see it as arrogance, where it's a guy that's on a mission. And I think now people are actually starting to go, oh, okay, maybe he is not fucking around. Maybe he's legit, and he's not trying to scam people. He's trying to get something done in the world. And we've all known that. We've been behind it all the time.
Speaking of not fucking around, how's this, mate? How is this? $296 million just on the ETH network.
Yep. So
that's unbelievable.
There was a Twitter poll that went out. I can't remember how many votes it got. It got quite a lot of votes. And 300 mil, it said there was a few different ranges. 300 mil plus was the top range. And I don't think too many people thought it was going to get to that. I thought it was going to crush it easy. I put the 300 mil plus, but a lot of people were down around the 50 mil, which is insane. Like the amount of money that's floating around just in the Hex ecosystem alone, that's not a big target.
What do you reckon? Where do you think we get? Like,
well, just on the ETH side, I mean, it's hard because I don't know what's happened on the Bitcoin side. I don't think there's a huge amount on the Bitcoin side. I've seen a few on XRP. I did have something up that was trying to drag all the information in, but it just wasn't accurate. It couldn't get all the XPub information in properly. So I've got no idea what's going on the other side. But I reckon, shit, we're only 4 days into this thing.
Another 2 weeks, over 2 weeks.
Do you reckon could it go to a bill?
I think it could. I think it absolutely could.
It could.
Like, why not? I mean, why not? I mean, the last 3 days, right? So on the last 3 days, it's sort of. So let's maybe describe that. Like you've got your head around what happens in the last 3 days. So we've got the first 5 days is a 2x, and then what we have is a ramping up to the order of 5% compounded per day for is it 2 weeks? No, it's not even 2 weeks, is it?
What is it now? It's 5 days, 17, so 19 days, 14 days or something. Oh no, because then you got the 3 off the back end, so it's like 12 days or something, isn't it? 11 or 12 days.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah. So what happens at the end there? So what is it? It just flat lines at 1.75, right?
So you got that's the time curve, but then it's the volume curve that flattens, isn't it?
Is that what happens? Like the
volume, you get a flat fixed rate on the volume side.
I'll tell you why I haven't bothered to spend any more time on any of that stuff. It's because I know that anything I do is going to be in that first 5 days. So I haven't even bothered looking further down. But I know you have, because you've done some training videos. And there we go again. Mate, I'll tell you what, a few years ago in Australia, governments were having this big argument about how we needed great internet in Australia. And we went ahead and spent a lot of money in Australia. We spent a lot of money in Australia on NBN internet, right?
It's never done this before.
And the taxpayer has been, we've been the ones paying for this. Right. So I was just explaining how the NBN happened, right? And the taxpayers been paying for the NBN.
They cheaped out.
Meanwhile, they could have just waited for 5G. Yeah. They could have just chilled out. They already knew that technology was on the horizon. We're not going to get into the machinations of 5G, by the way.
Everyone else is running on fiber. We've got still copper wires. Bullshit. Anyway, whole other story. Where were we? So, can't remember what we're talking about.
Oh, look, we were talking about the last three.
That's right.
3 days of the volume curve. It's a volume curve.
And you said, the time curve. So we've got the time curve, and then the volume thing at the end for the trailers, which miss out on that period where it's going up 5% each day. If you come late or you I don't know, you've got a bag at the end you want to dump in there, I guess you're not getting crucified at the end. So you said you hadn't even worried about that?
I hadn't even looked at it because I just thought to myself, I'm not gonna. My strategy has always been I've listened closely to what people have said, and it's like you have to. The price has to appreciate more than 5% compounded per day for it to be worthwhile, right? So I'm not saying the price can't do that. The price can do that, but that's a risk you're taking.
It's a gamble,
It's a gamble, and I like. There's a gentleman called Markable Thoughts, and you guys who are watching would all be familiar with this guy. He had a very good saying, which I'm going to steal, which is sack and chill.
Yeah.
Right. I like that. I haven't done what he did. I think he just put everything in on the first day or whatever. I've sort of just put in every day. I've just put in a bit. That's what I've done. That's it.
Yep. I think you can try and get too tricky with it. The pricing, I haven't checked it the last 5 minutes, but it was starting to make a bit of a recovery. We had a bit of a pullback, but that was coming off the back of some pretty stellar run-ups. So to try and time those run-ups with the end of the sack phase as well, or the 5-day period, it's pretty tricky. So that is a guaranteed easy win if you come in those first 5 days. Yeah, anything after that, you're gambling with time versus money.
I agree. How are we, Blue Bum? I'm glad you came.
Hey, man. Hey, I'm great. Oh, man, I just, I've been onboarding all these people onto PulseChain, and it's been super easy, and everyone's really prepared, and it's often just taken like I set aside 45 minutes, and often it's just taken 15 minutes or something like that. And then this last person, it all went super smooth, and he just wanted to, sack a bit of, of stuff, and that all went super smooth. And then he just, it's so funny. He just is so, even though he's just sacrificed for his pulse, he just does, he's got it in his head that at some point Richard is going to just, I don't know, turn it all into money, or what happens when Richard wants to buy an island for $5 billion? And he's just doing all these mental backflips to try to
people talking themselves out of shit, don't they?
But it was so funny because he was just straight into the sacrifice, but then he started telling all this kind of fun about Richard Hart, and I was like, and then that just ended up going on and on and on and on and on, and it's so hard to, it's so interesting. Markets are so complex, they're so simple, but value, and I think
you can overthink things.
Yeah, people think that there's just a set amount of money in the world, and so for us to be making money, it means we have to be taking it off other people.
Yep.
And it just doesn't work like that at all.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have a hard time. I think a lot of just the average, we're into this whole money thing, right? We're into this whole minting your own money. But I think the average person, to them, money comes from the bank, And but the reality is, for value to exist, you just need two people to agree that something has value.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, all you need is those two people to say, well, rather than exchange these things, we're going to use these units of account instead and exchange those. That's all you need. You don't need central banks. You don't need all this other stuff that's there.
All the kids at my daughter's school, you know what the currency is at the moment? Fidgets.
What? What's that?
Fidgets.
Are they the things that spin?
Go check out what fidgets are, mate. They are. The kids are just trading them everywhere. They are currency.
Beyblade?
They're just they can be bloody a marble in a sock and you play with it, or a bloody thing that pops when you. It crazy shit. I couldn't believe. Like my kids are ordering buttloads off the internet. I'm like, what the fuck is it? But they like it is currency for them. They all get on there and trade it. So seashells, mate, you name it. We've done it. Humans will do it with anything.
It's amazing, hey? I mean, the market is so beautiful in a way because it's where the rubber hits the road. It's like you have buy pressure and you have sell pressure. And the price is just where those two things meet. And you know, like people want to exchange things. They want to like interact and like know where that rubber hits the road kind of thing or something, hey?
Hey, Jexa. So
PulseChain.
Yeah. Someone just pointed out. I've gone, oh, yeah, I did get that wrong.
It was a long night.
Yeah. I see that, mate. But,
Jex is not trying to scam everyone.
You haven't been to my latest website?
PulseChain.com.
Let me just show everyone. If you see if you can find. There's PulseChain here. Check it out. The logo up in the behind me. The spelling there was okay.
Subtle, man.
I can't see you guys anymore.
Did you what about some of those Japanese words? Are they hex rocks in Japanese or something like that?
Yeah.
Have you gone that far?
I have to ask Papa Bona what they say. I don't
Papa
know.
Bona.
Isn't that his name? Papa Bona?
Yeah, Papa Bona.
Papa Bona.
Oh yeah, I just realised his name was Papa Bona. That's a funny name, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Have you had a chance to watch the Richard Hart streams, mate?
Yeah. I watched this last one today, and I watched the Nugget one. Oh man.
Yeah, we went into that a bit. We just like, I'm over it, mate. I'm over just seeing that sort of those detractors. I'm over it, completely over it. What did you think?
Well, I was a little bit disappointed. I thought Richard getting angry.
But can I just say that actually, in reality, that probably happened. Maybe that had something to do with the fact that you had an interview with Martin North. So
that's what
he would have seen that interview, right? He would have seen that interview.
But then when all the other scammy shit came out about Nugget, I was just like, I realized, this is not me. This is not got to do with me doing an interview with Martin North. This is Nugget desperate for cash or something. Like he was asking Richard for money, and it's like this is Nugget who's done too much leverage. I think Nugget's been doing too much leverage trading, and he's wrecked himself probably. And now he's, I don't know, needs money, I suppose. And he's asking Richard. He asked Richard Hart for money. This is the guy that he hasn't said a good thing about for the whole time. And then he was asking Richard Hart for money to go on his show. And I was just like, what? Like he must be either really desperate or he's trying to maybe entrap Richard or something. Or I think he's just doing crazy stuff because he must be like completely wrecked.
No, I think he's got himself in a little bit of strife.
I'm guessing. Because now he's launching a stable coin and he's trying to get he's trying to raise $2 million from his private group. It's just like, oh geez, this is.
You know, the thing is about that guy is that I went back and had a look at one of his earliest videos that he had on in 2017, and one of the first things he says is, "I've been in crypto for 5 years." So that guy was in crypto in 2012. You know how fucking rich that guy should be? Do you know how fucking rich
Not if he's a leverage. Not if he's a trader. Not if he's a trader who's doing leverage trading.
No, that's right.
No.
No, but that's the point. What you're saying is right. But he should be so rich. Like he should be, because Bitcoin was $13.
Okay.
It was 13 fucking bucks, man.
Okay.
Even if he traded a portion of it, he should have been smart and just kept a bucket load, you know.
Yeah, he's a trader. He's
thought,
a gambler. But listen, okay, listen to this, right? Before I knew about Hex, I was listening to Nugget quite regularly, and I was quite into. I thought he was like straight down the line, and I joined his group in kind of like April of last year, and then just as I joined his group, around that same time, that's when I saw a Richard Hart tweet about pick up your free Hex if you have Bitcoin. And that's when I started going into Hex. And then when I realized about what Hex was, I was just like, it just took me like a week or two of reading stuff. And I was like, holy shitballs, this is huge. And so then that was my very first post in the Nugget. And I was really excited about joining his group as well, because I had no one in my real life that I ever spoke to about crypto. Like I knew nobody online, nobody I knew was interested in crypto at all. I used to go and I remember in the block wars, I used to hang out in the Reddit kind of things and ask questions, but there was nobody that I could talk to or anything like that. So when I joined Nugget's group, this was the first time I was like, oh, cool, I've got a community of people that I can talk crypto to. So the very first post that I put up was about Hex. And I was guys, and I was like, I was going to tell them all, you guys got Bitcoin, you can claim your Hex for free, and look, I mean, have you sussed it out? Look at this, da 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 da, and da 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 da. I was telling them about the mechanics of it, and then I started getting a few people interested, and then people just shit talking it, and then all of a sudden it became this really long thread, and then Nugget came in and just said, no, it's all scammy, and there's wash trading, and it's all blah blah blah. And I said, wash trading? What do you mean? How what wash trading? I thought it's all done on Uniswap, you know? And then he just like deleted the whole thread. And I was just like, oh, you've got to be joking. It's like you've just deleted. And so I was just like, that's when I left the group, and I was just like, no, I'm not, bugger this. Like, I don't need to be in some place where I'm censored. That's ridiculous. And it's like, yeah, totally. And I
recommend that move for anyone who's currently in Alex's channels. Stop paying for this bullshit advice. Just listen. Hey,
big time.
Other people
but also, that's what I wanted to tell you. Hang on. That's what I wanted to tell you, right? So one of the reasons I joined the group as well was because the thing was, you can't know what Nugget has invested in and what his wallet looks like until you join the group, right? So that was part of the reason that I wanted to join the group. I wanted to see what coins Nugget had. What had he invested in? What was his portfolio? So I went in there, right? And then I finally got to see what he was holding. And I pissed myself, because it was just this list of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of just shit coins. It's just like every single shit coin you could imagine was in there. Like, and I just realized, oh, he hasn't got a clue. He's just gone the scattergun approach in like 100-fold. He doesn't know what he's doing. And they do these reports, but the reports that I read were just like, this is not telling me anything at all. And when you think about it, okay, what do they do? They send out a whole lot of reports. Like maybe 4 of them do their 100Xs. The rest of them go to zero.
I'm just connecting some dots right now. So he runs a group that has the scattergun approach, right? So what would be the biggest thing that would threaten the legitimacy of having such a group? It would be one crypto. It would be one crypto that's better than all of that shit that's ever been created.
And that's
that
the
you
same
don't need a group anymore,
I know.
Right?
And that's
so you don't need that group anymore. So he has to go hard against Hex because it threatens the legitimacy of his group, right?
But the thing is, right?
It makes sense now.
As soon as I found out about Hex, right, I was just like, my first thought was, what are all these people on YouTube going to talk about? Because all of these crypto influencers that do their next coin of the week, and they're doing their report on this, and they're just doing this and this and this. That's all their material. Once you take away all of their material, I was like, wow, everyone's just going to be talking about Hex. No one's going to have anything to talk about. It's all done and dusted. Okay, it's been solved. Crypto has been solved. here's Hex. So what are these guys going to talk about? And so that was my very first thought back then. I was like, I had just had no idea. You know what I mean? I just thought, I don't understand what people are. Ironically, the amount of like content that hexagons are putting out just dwarfs everything that they're doing, even though they have all these coins to talk about. Because hexagons just want to talk about it so much, and we do get repetitive. You know what I mean? We do go over the same stuff, and we speak for hours and hours and hours and hours. You know what I mean?
There is a lot to it. There is a lot to it. Like I was just
there's a lot to it, no doubt.
But
and also we bullshit on a lot, and we talk a lot as well.
Yeah, but like Jack, I think Jex's like his internet connection has been crap the whole time. He might have exited for the night. I don't know. He said he could only stay till about 10:30 anyway. We'll keep going to 11 because then I think, and I haven't heard back from middle class.
Hey Finn,
but he
T-Bird, everyone.
Yeah, how you going, chat? How are we? I think they've got Hex Asians on tonight at 11 o'clock. So
cool.
On Discourse Syndicate. So we'll be able to we'll go till 11 o'clock, so about another half an hour, and then I'm pretty sure they're.
I missed Hex Asians last night. I was actually hoping that they'd go on after Richard and kind of like discuss it all. I was looking forward to that, but yeah.
So we got a question here in the chat, and someone's asking, what would you guys consider a whale? I've got two answers for this. Okay, I've got the general crypto, like what you consider a whale, and then I've got like the Hex version of what you consider a whale. Okay, so in general in crypto, a whale is someone who's just got loads and loads of coin, like loads and loads of a token or a coin, right? Like so many that the average person would just go, whoa, you know? So for example, an example of this is during the last couple of days, a whale, a Ethereum Genesis whale contributed 10,000 Ethereum to the sacrifice, right? I consider that guy a whale because he had 440,000 Ethereum in the Genesis block in 2015, right? So I consider that guy, like, or that girl, that guy or girl, a whale, like in normal crypto terms. However, in Hex, a whale is something different. A whale is someone who has 10%, no, not 10%, who has 1%. It's 1%, isn't it? 1% of the supply of.
Well, no, the stakes, T-shares, yeah.
No, 1% of the supply of T-shares.
Or is it 10% of T-shares?
No, that 10% is a Poseidon.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
So 10% is Poseidon, 1% is whale, 0.1% is shark, and
this stream's a write-off for me tonight.
I didn't think you were going to come back. I thought you were just going to give up because you said that.
It's all got sideways tonight.
Yeah, it's like someone's on the other end of the cable, mate, who's just pulling it out every now and then and just plugging it back in.
Yeah. Oh well.
I like that you've got the crayon and just crossed through the PulseChain. Yeah, it's pretty relative what a whale is. I'm just thinking about it now, just off the top of my head. But I kind of think a whale is not necessarily... like, I think of whales as people who can move the price a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good explanation. I didn't think of explaining it that way. So someone who's got a lot of supply who can move the price, I guess. Yeah. That is I agree with that. Yes, we were talking about you, middle class. Did you respond to my... Oh, bro. There's those little gremlins. Oh, he's just gone.
He's gone again. Yeah, we're looking forward to Hex Asians tonight, mate. I'm looking forward to you guys dissecting all the shenanigans.
Middle class, I sent you a message. Are you guys going on? Hang on.
I'm just gonna grab
Let me
something to drink.
know early so I can push Hex Asians back. No, bro, don't push Hex Asians back. You guys start at 11, right? We will be. We have got good streaming etiquette, my friend. So we will be out just as maybe a couple of minutes before, so people have time to, bro.
Wow. What did I show?
Do you know what I thought, bro? I thought you were taking a piss, right?
Because you heard that.
No, because there's a mirror, right?
Oh, right.
And you had your back.
Yeah, right. You thought I went to the Darty.
Dude. Oh, man. Oh.
Forgot about that. OPSEC, eh?
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, mate. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
So
bank
Dexter,
sites.
mate,
Three UK high street bank sites have gone down this morning. Oh, banks, eh?
it's going to be the new normal, mate. The banks, they're gonna stop. They've already closed down a lot of their ATMs and they're closing down their branches.
I know.
You know
what are they going to be used for?
Mate, I don't know.
Seriously, like when crypto just keeps mopping up all of this money in the world as they print more and more fiat dollars, like that's when we're going to start using like some sort of crypto payment kind of thing, hey? Like it's going to be the crypto people who it's going to be the store of value first, and then the payment system comes in. That's one thing that Richard didn't mention in his. What was he saying today on his stream? He said once you've got anonymity, you've got amazing product, Hex or whatever. You've got I can't even remember what the things were, but the one thing he didn't say was the payments network. Like he still thinks we need that fiat to kind of thingo, but I can see a time when we just surpass all this fiat shit. Like what happens when the cafe starts accepting Bitcoin Cash or something that's really easy to use? Or, I don't know, Monero or something like that. You know what I mean? Apparently Monero is really good to use now as well.
Hex, mate.
Yeah, no one's going to be using Hex as a payment system. People are going to be holding on to that shit like diamonds. It's that store of value. Hex is store of value. But the Hexicans will use some other crypto as their payment system.
I don't know if you even need to. Well, I mean, because if you the whole purpose is to get yield, right? But at some point, you're going to want to sell some for either fiat or you're going to want to exchange it for goods, right? At some point,
exchange it for goods,
right? So
or exchange it for another crypto, which is used as the payments thing.
But you don't even need to do that because if you're on Pulse, it would
but
be
no one's going to want to give up their store of value. No one's going to want to give.
I guess the point I'm saying is that if you're going to swap it for another crypto, you could just why do that extra step? You could just
do the extra step.
People be like,
as a way to buy
people
things.
Be like, what do you got? Amex, Visa, and it's going to be like, what do you got? Big Cash, you got Hex. What do you got? You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
What do you accept here? We accept Hex here. We do accept Hex here.
Oh, I'm sure you do. You're not getting into my Hex. Though,
you have a sign on your store, in your store. It's like all Hex that's received is staked. Yeah,
minimum staked 1 year.
It's like this is a business I can get behind. I can support this business.
Oh, it'd be so much easier if everything was just crypto, though. Honestly. So and we didn't have to deal with banks at all. Oh, and then it's just all anonymous. See you later, governments. Fuck off.
I feel like we need governments, man. I just think that governments have to recalibrate for what they're supposed to be, and which is to serve the people.
Yeah, good luck with that. I mean, if governments would actually become competitive in terms of giving us services, then fair enough. But they're just out of control at the moment. They're just completely off the deep end, and they're all full of fuckwits. Like, come on. Like, seriously, they're just like, numpties to the nth degree. And it's just like, yeah, like just take their toys away from them. They don't deserve to have anything.
I think that they don't deserve to be in control of the money.
Or what about
when I say that, I don't mean they don't deserve to get taxes and then use them for the benefit of society. I think that should be what they do, right? Because you need to have a way to make sure that and look, I don't believe in socialism, but I do believe that you need like a base level of I don't even know the word in English. In Italian,
look, it's a great idea. I know, like essential services. Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? Like but
you want to, if you hurt yourself,
if you want a fire department. If your house is on fire, you want to be able to ring someone. They come and put on the fire, right? Put out the fire.
You want a hospital.
I'm not so sure about hospitals. To be quite frank, I'm staying right away from any hospitals. Bro, but like, I see what you mean. I know what you mean.
You break
a base level of care.
Your bone is sticking out of your arm.
Okay.
You need a hospital.
Yeah, I'll probably go to a hospital or something.
You're going to be walking around with a bent arm, or you'll die. You know, one or the other.
Or maybe you just go to the doctor who knows their shit rather than, you know, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, okay, I can understand the idealism of like everyone putting in for a common good so that you have these essential services and stuff like that. What you need, but they've just abused it. They've just taken it way out of line with like I mean, you know how much they're wanting to tax us even more now in Australia. I mean, the taxes are just going berserk, and what is it going to? It's just going to them and to ridiculous shit. It's just like, it's out of hand, man. It's just gone out of hand. Like, and we don't need to battle them. We don't need to battle anyone. We just need to ignore the fucking idiots. Everyone. And I just don't, like, everyone needs to ignore them. So they just become these pathetic little powerless dickheads who are, maybe they're trying to do stuff and are just completely like powerless. That's what needs to happen.
I have a different like tact or different approach. I feel like you need to like, once you've got like a lot of economic energy, then you go in and you push things and you influence things in the way that you think will have like a good outcome. So you mold this is what you know, this is why things go in shitty directions, because big multinational companies that have a lot of money go in and push politicians to do things that they shouldn't be doing. And because they've got this big
coerce or influence them to do that.
Well, they've got this big donation that they're going to get. They, you know, try and, you know, and it's not done in a ways like, you need to do this, this, and this, but they know if they aren't sort of, you know, trying to push laws forward that are in the interests of those companies, that they may not get like that fat check. You know, they may not get into power because they're not going to have the funds, you know, donated to their campaign. So I would like, you know, I think medical research is unbelievable, and I'm very, very interested in all of that. Like, very, very interested in longevity. I don't want my parents to die. You know, I look, we're all going to die, but I want them to live as long as possible. I like having them around. I like talking to my parents, you know? So I love that. I love that about the whole, you know, what Hex is, you know, sort of aligning with. But I also like the idea of actually changing, you know, supporting things politically that are going to put power back in the hands of the people, you know? So for example, one thing I have heard, you know, have heard people talk about, but I just believe in, you know, not losing rights, man. I don't like how we're losing rights, especially in the digital realm. I just don't like it. You know, I don't like how companies are like, there are laws that say that companies need to hold our data, like our personal data. It's like, why? I had to take my kid, right, to a party the other day, and on the form for my kid to go to the party, it's like it's a
form for a
it's
party.
it was, they were having it at it's like a gym party, and they go to this, it's like they go to this gymnasium and they do all this stuff, right? And on the form, there was a waiver on it, right? So they don't get sued if the kid break, which is fine. Like, I got no problem.
Yeah,
with
but
the waiver,
those waivers are bullshit anyway.
no,
Like
but hang on, hang on. Let
if
me
they're
finish,
negligent.
let me finish what I'm saying, man.
Sorry. Yeah.
I got no problem with that form of the waiver. Like, I got no problem. They need to run their business, and they can't be like, sometimes accidents happen and they're going to be careful, but accidents happen. The problem I had is they wanted to know my son's, well, his name, it wasn't a problem, but they want to know like his date of birth. They want to know his Medicare number. They want to know like all this, like all this information about him. And I called them and I said, why do you guys need all this information? Like, and they're like, oh, just in case he hurts himself and he has to get in an ambulance. I'm like, if he hurts himself,
There's
like,
one number they need. My
you
number.
need my
You
number.
fucking call me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need a Medicare. You don't need any of these numbers. It's like, you don't need this stuff, because my concern is not me giving them to you and you just in case you need them. My problem is that I don't trust that you guys can responsibly store that data and not get hacked. I don't trust that, because I know you might have good intentions, but you guys don't know how to look after data. That's not your job, right?
Yeah. That's bullshit.
So my problem,
it's complete bullshit.
My problem was that, man. My problem was that, and I said it to them, and then I realized that having these discussions with people is useless. It's useless. So I just wrote down bullshit details. They've got my number. I just wrote down all bullshit details. So you don't need my fucking the real details. Why do they need the real birth date? Why do they need the real Medicare number? They don't need any of that stuff. This is not like law that I need to give this to you for him to go play at a gym.
Actually, it's probably against federal privacy laws.
Maybe. It could be.
And the other thing about these waivers...
Can I tell you what is?
Hang on. I want to tell you one thing about these waivers, which are complete horse shit, right? Because if it doesn't matter what you fucking signed, if you injure yourself at one of those places because of their negligence, and their negligence can be proven in court, then they are at fault. It doesn't matter what the fuck you signed. So it's all complete bogus rubbish anyway, those forms. It's just like adding layers of bureaucracy onto things that don't need it. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. I forgot what I was saying anyway. It wasn't. I said what I needed to say. I've got it. So, in Australia, we have something called the Privacy Act, right? And then we've got, someone's just written it in there. Yeah, we've got something called the Privacy Act. And within the Privacy Act, we've got something called the Australian Privacy Principles, right? Where these set of principles that it's like companies should try and follow these things. Now, if you are a small company under a certain turnover, they don't really apply to you, right? If you're over a certain number of like turnover per year, then you have to adhere to these. It's like law, right? And one of the things that if you have a higher turnover than a certain amount is that the company has to like do their best to not keep your name and your like details as they need like a number associated with you rather than actually using your name like in their file. So that does that make sense?
That's their form of encryption.
Yeah. So I don't like it. I would prefer, me personally, that companies don't hold any data. It's like,
well, that's what the Privacy Act should be about. It's that you're not allowed to fucking hold any of my details.
That's
like
that's sort of, yeah, kind of, but companies are allowed to ask you for your details, and you're allowed to say,
no.
Yeah. No. I'm just reading this stuff. It's like the thing
There you
is that
go. That's the thing.
They can. Yeah. No. That's
Yeah,
all right.
put that
Yeah,
up. Put
that's
that one up, man. Because this is for every single time you go to one of these shops and they've got this fucking QR code, which I don't do, and I refuse. I don't even need to refuse to do. I just go in and I don't do it. And to be honest, no one's even bloody asked me to. And if they do, all you say to them is, well, actually, that's a state regulation that's there, and there's a federal law, which is the Australian Privacy Act, which actually prohibits you from having to ask any of that information. And so, there's the Biosecurity Act and there's the Privacy Act, and they're federal laws, so they supersede all this bullshit state regulation. So, sorry, no. And if they just say blah blah blah, just say, listen, I don't want to I don't want to pick a thing with you, but you're wrong, and this is just all getting out of hand, and we just have to. Everyone has to just make a stand. Otherwise, it's just going to keep on going, and it's just like
so.
No.
You're right, man. You're right, and there's a point where the reality of interacting with the world and these rules that they're sort of imposing, like they come to a head at some point, right? And this point that I was saying, this story about taking my son to that place, if I wanted to go there and argue with the people there, I could do that. But they're probably never going to want my son to go to another party, right? And then who's really suffering out of that? So I just thought, well, they don't need this data. There's nothing that says that I will just use my own. I'll obfuscate my own shit.
Yeah.
You guys,
look, you've got to shoot. You've got to choose your battles to an extent as well.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean? You don't want to be arguing with everybody all the time, but you do have to, I think, stand your ground at certain times, and at other times you can just fucking get around that fucking bullshit. You know what I mean? Like I had to get my license, and I was in Brisbane, and the guy wouldn't let me in because I didn't have a mask, and I said, and I didn't know about the Biosecurity Act or the private, blah blah blah, and at that time, and I was just like, well, what do I do? I need my fucking license, and otherwise this car that I've just bought is not. I won't be legally able to have it or whatever. And so I was just like, fuck it, I'm just going to go. And I just ran around the corner and I found a place. It was like $5 or something ridiculous, one of these fucking masks or whatever. And so I had to do it. And so for that, I couldn't get around it. You know what I mean? And so what do you do? Okay. But in a lot of other, I flew down from Cairns down to Brizzy, right? I didn't wear any masks or anything like that. And no one said anything to me. Everyone else was all wearing his mask and stuff. No one said anything to me. And except one person, when I was walking out on the tarmac, this kind of stewardess kind of just said, oh, have you got your... And I just said, no, I'm exempt. And she's like... So it's like, yeah, you know what I mean? But I think if you just have a bit of confidence and don't get in arguments with people. It's not about them. It's just... but also knowing your rights as well, knowing about the Privacy Act and the Biosecurity Act and I mean, it's coming down, man. They're pushing and pushing and pushing, and they're going to keep pushing, and we've got to fucking stand up at some point, it's just it, otherwise they're just going to keep on, and they're going to try to force it as much as possible, and they're going to either make it really fucking expensive to not have these bloody blah blah blahs, or they're going to make it to the point where it's just incredibly inconvenient, where you can't even go into a restaurant or buy food or something like that. So it's now's the time, everyone. We've just got to stand up to this crap. It's gone on too long, and it's just too much, and if everybody does it, done, solved.
Let's bring this back to Hex.
Not even everybody, 10% of us.
I just want to say the reason we got into this topic, right? The reason we got onto this topic is because I was talking about how I thought that with the economic energy that we get out of Hex, that we will be able to contribute and maybe push the agenda in a certain direction, in a different direction than where it's going. I actually think in Australia we need a Senate party that a party that believes in you know, the freedoms that we're talking about. I think we need a party like that in Australia. I think that would be good. But anyway, mate, let's talk about Pulse, right? We've got about 10 minutes left, right? And then we're gonna ditch out. Let's talk about Pulse. What's amazing,
this is what I want to know. Like, I heard you guys talking before. Yeah, the first 5 days is the best time kind of thing. The price is whatever it is at the moment. What if as soon as you start waiting to do your sacrifice, you're going to be sweating bullets? Because as soon as that price just stays around where it is now and the time starts ticking over and you're going, shit, I should have done it yesterday. Shit, I should have done it yesterday. Shit, I should have done it the day before, blah, 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 blah. It's going to get tighter and tighter. But do you think that the whales are just playing this game where they're going to jump in those last couple of days when they get that 1.75 flat out volume bonus or whatever it is? Do you think they're going to pump the price then, and then they're going to do their jump like right before the end? I mean, because they know that all us little people are sweating, going, "Oh, I'm just going to chuck it in. Oh, I'm just going to chuck it in," and because the time is running out, you know what I mean? So, is that what the whales are playing? Do you reckon?
I don't know, man. I don't think anyone knows. It's unknowable.
The only nice thing, happen, man. Yeah, look, the only nice thing about it is that, okay, do something in this first 5 days. You've got to put 50% of what you wanted to at least in, or something like that, you know what I mean? 70% of what you wanted to, or something like that. Hold on to that little extra bit. Hold on to that little extra bit.
Saying he doesn't think you understand the volume bonus. So let's see if we understand the volume bonus, right? So the volume
actually explain that 1.75 to me at the end of in the last 3 days or 2 days or whatever it is.
I don't know. I said this to Jexa before because I'm only going to be contributing in the first 5 days. I haven't bothered learning the rest of it. The volume bonus, I do understand. I do understand that you're going to get points, right? You're going to get points, and for every
I think this is what it is.
No, hang on. You're going to get points, and then
we know.
Every point you get, they're going to be ordered.
Ordered.
Like not just yours, all of them. And
everyone.
They're going to be divided from 2.5 down to 1.
1.25 or 1. Yeah, okay.
To 1.
Is it 1 or 1.25?
1.
1. Okay, yeah.
1 to 2.5 divided by how many points exist, and then like you're going to get that distribution. Yeah, based on that.
So this is the way the 1.7. This is the way the 1.75 works. In those last 2 or 3 days or whatever it is, because you've got the worst time bonus, so you'll get that 1, right? Because you've got the worst time bonus. They're giving a flat bonus of 1.75 so it's rather than putting it in the middle, it's better if you just kind of wait till the end and you get that bonus, but you'll get the worst time bonus. But if you're a small minnow, it doesn't really matter when you're around there anyway. So that's why the whales might pump the price at the end.
So hang on,
because they will get that 1.75 bonus plus.
When I originally looked at this before, like a week ago or whatever, or when it got released, I saw 5% a day compounded for 2 weeks equals 1.98, right? 1.98 is twice the price, which is how we get it. It's half. When he says it's half at the end, I baseline is saying it's half the value of what you would get in the first 5 days, right? But it's twice the cost, right? So, So
think about this. So think about this if you're a whale.
Two things. We shouldn't confuse.
I know, but think about this if you're a whale, right? If you're not going to get that time bonus, all you have to do is pump the price more than 2x right in those last few days, and you're going to get the same value plus whatever you can pump it, plus you'll get a 1.75 flat volume bonus, which is right in the middle of the volume bonus.
I don't know that 1.75. I need to look at this. I need to look at it, and I just didn't bother understanding I didn't bother understanding it, trying to understand it, because I wasn't going to be involved in it, if that made sense. You know, I just thought, well, why do I care what the whales do? They're going to do what they do. Hey.
Well, that's the thing. It's all pure conjecture, because we don't even know if the whales have strategized this much, or what their motivations are, or if they're just kind of like doing whether they impetuously do, or whether they've got plans and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
So I'm going to make a prediction, right? And I could be completely wrong. I don't think the price is going to pump much more than double that 17 or 18 cents, right? If
double 17 or 18 cents.
By the end, I don't think, if it does pump, if we see some like crazy whatever, I don't think it's going to pump much past that 35, 36 cent mark. If it does. So that's just what.
In which case you're better off coming in these first 5 days.
That's just what I reckon. I actually think it won't get that high. I don't think it's going to get that high.
And that's fair enough. And the other thing to think is, right, even if you do hold a little bit of, if you're sacrificing Hex, we're assuming, even if you do hold a little bit of Hex, just in case it does go at 3x or a 10x or whatever hell, worst comes to worse, just hold on to it and you get it doubled. You're still making, and you keep onto your Hex and just stake it or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hold on to it. Hold on to it for one of those encapsulated stakes, mate. I think that's going to be bigger than all of this. As soon as there's a front end for those encapsulated stakes, I'm buying one of those, and I'm doing as much as I can out for 5 or whatever. Yeah, and then I'm just going to hold on to it for a couple of years until I need the money. And then I start selling 10% of it in shares in 10% of it.
I think you can do that with Gnosis Safe, man. You can do that with Gnosis Safe.
Well, I think Firebun has supposedly built these contracts to be able to do this, like sell shares in it, is what I'm saying.
If you've got a Gnosis Safe wallet and there's that layer of abstraction between, the stake and the private keys you hold, then, and we're sort of getting into a.
Well, then no, because that's because why would Firebun have to build these contracts if that was the case?
Because
he's built these
No, I'll explain why. Because you need something that can. You need something that can take, like, because what that means basically is that the keys that you hold, you can trade that stake. That stake can be transferred to a different wallet, right? A different someone who holds the keys. Like, you can get a Gnosis Safe, you can have another Gnosis Safe. You can transfer that stake to a different Gnosis Safe. So,
but not at the moment. Only with Firebun's contracts.
Yeah, okay, but I'm saying this is all possible. Like, you can't do that with
I know. That's what I'm saying,
right? Yeah. So what I'm saying is that once that the code is all done and that's possible, you'll be able to do it with the Gnosis Safe's wallet stakes now, like the ones that you've got now. You don't have
no. But the point is no. But the point is being able to sell shares in it,
and you'll be able to do that.
Yeah, with Firebun's contracts that he's built.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Not just through Gnosis Safe.
But that code is out there, like, it's there. It's not like his.
I know, but they haven't got the front ends for it. They haven't built the front ends for it.
Yeah. So what I'm saying,
we need front ends.
You can start preparing now. That's my point. You can start preparing now.
Yeah. You don't exactly
have to wait until later to do it later. You can already start putting.
Start saving up your Hex for 1 million Hex to get the maximum.
Do it through the stake.
Don't put it in anywhere. Save it up until there's a front end.
You can still do it through the stake wrap, mate.
No, you can't. You can't. No.
Yes, you can.
Oh, okay, maybe you can, but I don't. But so you're saying that I could do a 555 stake now and have it, and that with that stake that I'll be able to transfer, and I'll be able to sell shares in it, and I'll be able to only sell 10% of the shares in it and be the market maker for that market.
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so.
Well, I know the contract. So it's just about a matter of usability.
Yeah, that's it. You can't do it right now. But dude, we have to go. We're going to give people time to go, take a leak in between Hex Asians and this show. So, man, it's good speaking to you, bro.
Yeah.
I'll jump on the call with you like straight after this, okay?
Okay, cool, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
See everyone.
See you later. Nice chatting to
Ciao.
everyone. And
Yeah.
goodbye to everyone in the chat. See you later.
See you.